Okay, so you want to own a vending machine business. You've seen the videos. A guy stands next to a snack machine, points at it, and tells you it makes him $300 a month while he sleeps. Buy a few machines, drop them in some busy buildings, swing by once a week to refill them and collect the cash, and watch the money pile up. No employees, no storefront, no boss. It's the purest passive income there is. That's the plan in your head, and the raw margins genuinely look incredible. A bag of chips that costs you 40 cents sells for $1.50. A soda that costs you 30 cents sells for $2. That's a markup most retail businesses would kill for sometimes 3, 4, or even 5 times your cost, sitting right there in a metal box. You look at that and you think, stack up 50 machines each doing that, and how is this not a money printer? Here's the problem. Almost everything you just heard is the marketing, not the business. And the single word doing all the lying is passive. Because there is nothing passive about a vending machine business. The machine sits still, but the business around it does not. You are not buying a passive income stream. You are buying a job, a logistics operation, and a real estate problem, all disguised as a metal box that dispenses candy. And the people selling you the dream, the machine sellers, the course sellers, the guys on social media, make their money from you buying in, not from the machines actually working. That's the first thing to understand. An entire industry exists to sell you the fantasy of this business, and their profit doesn't depend on yours. The truth is that a vending machine business is not really about the machine at all. It's a location business wearing the costume of a snack machine. And once you understand that the whole thing lives or dies on one factor location, everything about why most people fail at this and a few people quietly get rich starts to make sense. Let's start with the machine itself, because even step 1 costs more than the videos admit. A brand new combo snack and drink vending machine, the good kind, with a card reader and remote monitoring, can cost anywhere from $3,000 to $8,000 each. You can buy used to save money, but used machines break down more, and a broken machine is a machine earning zero while still taking up your best location. So right away, the dream of just buy a few machines means laying out real capital. And if you want a fleet of 10 or 20 machines, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars before you've sold a single soda. But the machine is not the expensive part, and it's not the hard part. The hard part, the thing the videos barely mention, is getting a good location. And this is where the entire business is actually won or lost. Here's a truth nobody selling you a machine wants to say clearly. A vending machine's income is almost entirely determined by where it sits, and the best locations are extremely hard to get. A machine in a busy factory break room with 300 workers and no other food options nearby can genuinely make hundreds of dollars a month. That exact same machine, in a quiet office with 12 people and a grocery store across the street, might make $20 a month, barely enough to cover the cost of the electricity and your time driving there to restock it. Same machine, same snacks, same prices, wildly different outcomes. The machine isn't the variable. The location is the entire game. And here's the catch. Everybody in the vending business knows this, which means the good locations, the busy factories, the hospitals, the schools, the big office buildings, the gyms are already taken, locked up by established vending operators who have been servicing them for years and are not letting go. You, the new person, are left fighting over the scraps, the marginal locations that the pros already looked at and passed on. This is the central inversion of the whole business. You think you're buying machines. You're actually competing for real estate, tiny plots of high-traffic floor space inside other people's buildings. And that real estate is scarce, contested, and controlled by whoever got there first. The machine is cheap and easy to get. The location is expensive, in effort, if not in dollars. And it's the only thing that matters. And getting a location isn't free, even when you win it. This is the part that shocks new operators. In many good locations, the property owner or business expects a cut. It's called a commission, and the business hosting your machine often takes a percentage of the sales, sometimes 10, 20, even 30% or more, in exchange for the space and the electricity. So that beautiful markup on the chips, a slice of it goes straight to the location before you see a cent. The better the location, the more leverage the host has to demand a bigger cut, because they know a dozen other vending operators are lined up wanting that same spot. Now let's talk about the word passive again, because this is where the fantasy really falls apart. That machine has to be restocked, which means you, personally, are driving to it, carrying boxes of product you bought in advance with your own cash, loading it shelf by shelf and collecting the money. If you have one machine, that's a chore. If you have 20 machines spread across a city, that is a full-time logistics operation. You are now a delivery driver, a merchandiser, and a cash collector, spending your days driving a route. And gas and your time are real costs that quietly eat the margin. And it gets worse, because things go wrong constantly. Machines break. A bill validator jams and stops taking cash. A card reader goes offline, and you lose every sale until you notice. The refrigeration unit fails, and now you've got a machine full of warm, spoiling product that you have to throw away at total loss. A coil gets stuck, and a customer's snack doesn't drop, so they're angry, and they never buy from that machine again. Every one of these is a trip, a repair cost, and lost revenue. And you often don't even know it's happening until you show up and find the machine dark and dead. Then there's spoilage and theft, the two quiet killers of margin. Spoilage. You stock the machine with product, and some of it, especially food with expiration dates, doesn't sell before it goes bad, so you eat the cost. Buy too much variety, or stock a slow location too heavily, and you're throwing money in the trash every visit. And theft, vending machines, sitting alone and unattended, are targets. They get broken into, tipped over, and vandalized, especially in the lower traffic, less secure locations that a beginner is most likely to end up with because the good spots are taken. A single break-in can cost you the cash inside, the damaged product, and hundreds of dollars in repairs to the machine. So now stack it all up honestly. The machine, a few $1,000s each. The product you buy up front and carry. The commission to the location. The gas and hours driving your route. The breakdowns and repairs. The spoilage. The theft. Run all of that against a machine that, in a decent but not amazing location, might net you $50 to $100 a month after everything. And you start to see why the fantasy of easy passive money collides so hard with reality. One machine making $80 a month is not a business. It's a hobby that barely pays for itself. To make real money, you need scale a lot of machines in a lot of good locations. And now, you're back to the two hardest problems: getting those locations and running the whole logistics operation without it consuming your life. Now here's where the psychology becomes as important as the math, because the vending business has some genuinely smart levers, and the people who succeed use them ruthlessly. The first is what they sell and how they price it. Impulse purchases. Nobody plans their day around a vending machine. They're hungry, they're standing there, they have $1, and the convenience is worth the premium. So the smart operator knows they're not really selling snacks. They're selling immediate access at the exact moment of craving, and that convenience can be worth 2 or 3 times the store price. The whole margin depends on the customer being captive, hungry, and having no better option within reach, which loops right back to location. A machine in a place where people are stuck for hours with nowhere else to go is a license to charge premium prices. The second is technology, which has quietly transformed this business. Modern machines have card readers because most people don't carry cash anymore, and a cash-only machine loses a huge share of sales. Even better, they have telemetry, remote monitoring that tells the operator, from their phone, exactly what each machine has sold and what's running low, so they can plan restocking routes efficiently and stop driving to machines that don't need it. The operators who run this like a data-driven logistics business, restocking only what's needed, only when needed, are the ones who make the margin work. The ones who drive blind, guessing, wasting trips, are the ones who quietly lose. The third lever is the product mix itself. The smart operator studies each specific location and stocks it for that crowd. A machine in a gym sells protein bars and drinks. A machine in a factory sells hearty, filling snacks and energy drinks for tired workers on long shifts. A machine at a school sells differently than one in a hospital. Matching the product to the exact human being standing in front of the machine is a real skill, and it's the difference between product that flies out and product that sits until it expires. Before we get to how this actually goes wrong, it's worth being fair, because a real vending business absolutely can work, and some operators do genuinely well. The winners are the ones who treat it as what it actually is, a serious logistics and location acquisition business, not a passive side hustle. They relentlessly hunt for and win good locations, often by being more professional and reliable than the sleepy incumbents. They build a dense route so their driving time is efficient. They use technology to restock smart. They negotiate their commissions carefully, and they scale to enough machines that the whole operation supports itself, and then some. Done right, at real scale, it's a genuine business. It's just nothing like the video promised. So how does the dream actually die for most people who try it? A few ways, and they're painfully predictable. The first is buying the machines before securing the locations. This is the classic, fatal beginner mistake, and the machine sellers love it. You get excited, you buy 3 or 5 machines, and then you go looking for somewhere to put them. And you discover that all the good spots are taken, and nobody wants your machine. Now, you've got thousands of dollars of metal sitting in your garage, or worse, placed in weak locations out of desperation, earning almost nothing. The order is backwards. The location has to come first, always, and the pros know it. The second is the ghost location slow bleed. You place machines in locations that seemed okay, but turn out to be too quiet. Each one earns $20 or $30 a month, not enough to justify the drive to restock it. But you've already invested in the machine and the product, so you keep servicing it, spending gas and hours babysitting machines that will never make real money. It's not a dramatic failure. It's a slow, quiet drain that makes you feel busy while earning almost nothing. The third is the scale trap. You have a few machines doing okay, so you scale up fast, more machines, more locations, more product before you've built the systems to handle it. Suddenly, your restocking route is eating entire days. Breakdowns are piling up faster than you can fix them. Spoilage is climbing because you can't track everything. And the business that was fun with 3 machines becomes an exhausting, low-paid, full-time job with 15. You scaled the work faster than you scaled the profit. So let's put it in plain mechanical terms. Picture a decent machine in a genuinely good location. It might gross, say, $500 a month in sales. Your cost of the product, the chips and sodas inside, might be 30 to 40% of that, so call it $175. The location takes a 15% commission, another $75. Then subtract your gas and time to service it, the occasional repair, and some spoilage. What's left? Your actual net profit on a good machine might be $150 to $200 a month. That's a real, solid number for a good machine in a good spot. Now the catch. That was a good machine. Multiply it out. To make a genuine living, say $6,000 a month in profit, you need 30 to 40 of those good machines, all in good locations, all running well at the same time. Getting 30 premium locations is enormously hard. Servicing 40 machines is a full-time logistics job, and keeping all of them healthy, stocked, unbroken, and unvandalized simultaneously is a real operation with real overhead. The per-machine math looks passive. The whole business math looks like exactly what it is: a demanding, hands-on distribution company. In the optimistic version, you did it right. You secured a handful of genuinely excellent locations before buying a single machine. You built a tight, efficient route. You used telemetry to restock smart. You match product to each crowd. You negotiated fair commissions, and you scaled carefully to a fleet that earns real money without drowning you. This is a legitimate, profitable small business, and it absolutely exists. It just required you to be a sharp operator, not a passive investor. In the realistic version, nothing exotic goes wrong. You bought machines excited by the videos, then struggled to find locations as good as promised. Half your machines sit in mediocre spots, earning barely enough to justify the drive. One got vandalized, one's refrigeration failed, and you lost a load of product. You're spending your weekends driving a route, carrying boxes, fixing jams, and when you actually add up the gas, the time, the spoilage, and the commissions against what the machines bring in, the passive income is a few $100s a month for what feels a lot like a part-time job. The machines work. The dream didn't. So if you do get into the vending business, understand exactly what you're really buying. You are not buying a passive income machine, no matter how many times the word passive gets used to sell it to you. You're buying into a location acquisition and logistics business, where the metal box is the easy, cheap, unimportant part, and the scarce, contested, valuable thing is the few square feet of high-traffic floor space it's allowed to stand on. The snacks were never the business. The spot was. And the people who understood that they were really in the real estate business, competing for the best places to stand a machine, are the ones quietly making money, while everyone who believed the word passive is still driving across town on a Sunday to refill a machine that made $20.